Your father would be ashamed of you.
Thank you very much. I'll bring you another. Who do you want?
Me.
I'll bring you. Bring two.
Mary, are you ready? You would be my hog. Are we on?
I know, I was thinking the same thing.
Was the Stevie's?
Oh, wait a minute.
Why don't Good evening and Shabbat Shalom. Tonight has been billed nationally as a Shabbat of love because the Jewish organizations in our world has said there is so much pain and so much suffering, and we have shared so much angst over the past few months that we need to take one day to focus on our love of being Jewish, our love of our communities and our synagogues. And so tonight has been designated as not just a Shabbat of cold and snow, but also a Shabbat to love those around us and to be proud of our heritage and remember those things that hold us together as a people. And so we begin kindling a little bit more warmth here at Temple Beth Or, and Helen Markman and her grandsons are going to light the Shabbat candles and bring some light and warmth to our community. The blessings for those who would like to follow are on page 120. Let the kids do it, they know. If he does it, I'm just gonna. Where is Steve when we need? I know. May our souls be nourished, our friendships deepened, our candles lit brightly, our grape juice so sweet. May our hands be rested, our eyes softened, our hearts repaired, and our bread shared widely. May our pace be unhurried, our shoulders unburdened, our earth quiet, and our songs beautifully sung. May our gardens find peace, our world find wholeness, our prayers heard, and our evenings sheltered. May our donuts taste delicious, our children loved, our mouths full of smile, and our days to become blessed. We continue with the reading on page 126. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English, no Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision into life. And so we rise together for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu on page 146. Baruch Hu et Adonai. Amen.
Leolam
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due, now and forever.
To dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Oh, ray of the light, golem of him that ocean, golem of him that ocean, that ocean thing. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Oh, ray of the light, golem of him that ocean, golem of him that ocean, that ocean thing. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night.
Page 150. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We continue with the Shema on page 152 and 3.
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Elohim Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
And we are seated, continuing with an interpretation all about love, how it is that we affirm the unity of God by loving God.
Love
On page 159, sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles and earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, for soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace, the song of freedom, Micha Mocha, on page 158. And a few years ago, when we had Noah Aronson with us, he told us that we do the Hebrew prayers, but let us also look at the left side of the page, the name of his album where he wrote, "Let there be love and understanding among us. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, God. May you spread your shelter of peace over us, over all your people Israel, over Jerusalem, and over the world."
There be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkiveinu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkiveinu, leShalom. Hashkiveinu, ve'hamidenu, ma'akeinu, le'chaim. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among storms. Ashivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ashivenu, Leshalom, Ashivenu, Lehamidenu, Malkeinu, Lechaim. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We rise together for the Amidah on page 164. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur, Bahanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atarav lahoshia. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. So make no flim berofei cholim, Umatir asurim. Umakaye memunato lishenei afar michamocha ba'al givurot umido melach melech mehi tumakaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'emana talahachayoh takol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh ukadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. We are seated. Continuing on page 175. You are with us in our prayer, in our love and in our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble and pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answers to our prayers. There may we find you, there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. Blessed are you, O God. It is you alone that we serve in reverence. Before we turn to our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing, on this Shabbat of love, we ask for healing not only of those individuals in our community who need strength in our prayers, but also a little bit of healing for ourselves. A prayer for healing our senses. Eyes. May our tired eyes take respite from blazing screens to find healing in the world's natural luminosity, in sunlight and moonlight, in the peace that is darkness out of which dreams arise. O God, heal our eyes. Ears. May our ringing ears take respite from screaming headlines to find healing in birdsong and breezes, burbling streams, sacred prayer, and deeply entranced listening in which the self takes flight on wings of story. O God, heal our ears. Nose. May our irritated noses take respite from allergens and the stench to find healing in aromatic teas and fresh baked challah, laundered linens and a squeeze of lemon and the scent of Bill's donuts. Heal our noses, O God. Tongue. May our tongues take respite from chemicals, food dye, and bleached flour to find healing in crunchy apples and carrots, natural fructose and fat, whole proteins and bountiful, beautiful rainbows of Earth's harvest. Oh God, heal our tongues. And skin. May our skin take respite from the shivering cold and deprivation, from the coarse, the prickly, and find healing in a sea mist and sunshine, a lavender lotion, the caress of another who loves us. Oh God, heal our skin. And we pause to pray for God to heal our community, those individuals who need our strength and prayer, those who are struggling and those who are ill. If you'd like to mention anyone at this time, we will all dedicate our Misha Berach prayer to them as well as those we carry in our hearts.
Rhea Beachman, Arlene Grayer, Ann Wachowski,
Rabbi Press.
And we add prayers for Carla Scher and Pastor Brian Newcomb. We also have those individuals who we carry with us for whom we pray for healing with our Misha Berach prayer.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, 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 and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misha Berach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the Hear our prayer.
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 Hear our prayer. And bless us as well.
We add to our healing prayer an Aramaic prayer which will be added to all of our services now for the hostages until they are returned. It is a prayer that is nestled away in our weekday services for the Torah, but is becoming very popular to be brought out into all liturgy throughout Israel and the world. Aramaic word, Seachenu kol beit Yisrael, hantunim batsara, uvayashiva, ha'omdim ben bayam uvein hayabasha, hamakom yirachem alehem v'yotzim miktsara, lirvacha, u'me'afela la'ora, u'mishbud lagula hashata ba'agala uvizman kariv. Our brothers and sisters, the whole house of Israel who are given over to trouble or captivity, whether they abide on the sea or the land, may God have mercy upon them and bring them forth from trouble to enlargement, from darkness to light, from subjugation to redemption, now and speedily and at a near time. Choir doesn't know it yet, but they're going to get that as a new song, and we will be singing it until our captives are returned. In the meantime, we pray the words, Olam Chesed Yibaneh. May we build a world of love and peace.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Ya la 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 la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Ya la 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 la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh.
When Kathy Gardner wrote me about a little over a month, maybe 6 weeks ago, about a Shabbat of love, I inwardly groaned. I like love songs as much as everyone else, but what am I going to talk about? Let me talk about politics or apartheid and all that, but squishy, feely romance, what am I going to talk about? If we were talking in Portuguese, we would have, someone else is going to have to tell me this, I forgot to look up how to say it, Saudade Shabbat. If we were Chinese, it's Wan Fen, and if it was Swahili, it would be Updendo. And each one of these words talk about care and love and affection. But in Hebrew, the word for love actually has very little to do with our feelings or romance or anything gushy. So I'm on. If you look up the English dictionary, these are the definitions we get for the word love. Strong affection for another arising out of kinship or personal ties, attraction based on physical desire, affection based on admiration, benevolence, or common interests. But love in Hebrew means something entirely different. Like almost all Hebrew words, the word for love has 3 core letters which contain the very essence of the word's meaning. The root for the word ahava is the aleph, the hey, and the vet. Together, the hey and the vet are a shortened form of the word to give, and the aleph in front of it turns it into a first personal pronoun. So in fact, ahava, which means love, doesn't mean love at all. It means I give. So to the Jewish mind, love isn't so much about how I feel, it's about what I give. Love is more concerned in Hebrew about giving than receiving. Love isn't about a fleeting feeling or fix. It's about our giving of self, of devotion, of resources, of time. Giving is the very vehicle for love in Judaism. Love may focus on receiving, but ahava is all about the giving. You can fall in love, but ahava is a condition that we create by our very giving. There are 3 commandments to love in the Torah, and not one of them is gushy or romantic. We are to love our neighbor as ourselves. We are to love the stranger as ourselves. And we are, as we sang earlier, to love Adonai with all our hearts, minds, and souls. Now, some commentators, more accustomed to the romantic notion of love, ask, how is it that the Torah can command an emotion? It doesn't command us even to love our parents or our spouse or our siblings or our children. And the answer, I think, is kind of brilliant. Our feelings can't be commanded, and in some cases, it doesn't even matter how we feel in the moment. It's how do we act towards our beloved. The context of the commandment to love is that we are to perform actions that will engender our own feelings of love. In the case of God, the point is to open oneself up to awe and amazement for God's creation, for the gift of life, even when we're facing death and in the miserable times. And then in the good times, we can be grateful for all the relationship that we can find with the divine. We will be more willing to see how and why God has acted in our lives, even when we are struggling with God. In the case of love for other people, the Torah is telling us to act lovingly, even when we're not so happy with our neighbor, even when their dog leaves droppings in our yard. Maimonides states, ahava for a neighbor means that we should be as concerned for our fellow's property and his or her honor as we are with our own. It doesn't matter how we feel about them emotionally. It matters how we treat them. And as Hillel, who we spoke about last week, said, what is hateful to you, don't do to the other person. And if you treat the guy who lives next door with honor and respect, no matter how you actually feel about them, how much more so with your family and your chosen beloveds. Amazingly, the Jewish ketubah, the Jewish marriage document, does not have a single declaration of love. It is a legal contract which spells out the material marital obligations between spouses. It's written in Aramaic, the legal language of the Talmud, not the biblical Hebrew of the Holy Tongue. Though not love poetry per se, this ancient document, which frames love and marriage as a binding commitment with concrete behaviors and responsibilities, expresses ethically relational poetics all its own. Jewish ahava, love, is less a promise to always feel only pleased with the people we have chosen to love, because no one ever can. It's more a promise to uphold a higher standard of presence and action in relation to them. For beyond merely conveying the importance of prioritizing actions over feelings, the word ahava, I give, also communicates a subtle but profound psychological insight into how feelings actually work. From the romantic perspective, we think of love bringing about the giving. The more we love them, the more we give. But that's not how Judaism looks at it. In fact, the opposite is true. The more we give, the more we love. The act of giving itself is what opens the channels for feelings to flow and even to grow. Our sages said it this way: one's heart is drawn after his or her deeds. Or more colloquially, as Golda and Tevye realized, after 25 years of slaving to make a family, I suppose I love you too. So in the end, maybe a love service isn't such a bad thing after all. For isn't our liturgy just one long love poem to God and our people and our families and our community and our world? We stop after a long week of work and irritation, and we thank God that we made it through. And we remind ourselves of the values of our people, and we recommit to give ourselves for the coming week that which we want to give to the world, to be generous, to be uplifting, to be encouraging, to serve others, to make a difference in people's lives, to be stewards of our earth and our environment. We are called to give ourselves to the world and community around us and make this whole world into a more caring place. As Tevye asks, if that's not love, what is? And so when I knew when I had to write about love, ahava, my first thought was that famous sculpture in the Israel Museum Art Garden in Jerusalem. Now, this is going to be the last time I ever have to hold up little sheets of paper for you to see, because we are going to have big, beautiful screens here very soon. So just one more time, I wanted to rub it in that we don't have it yet. I did not know, and I'll show you that thing. Many of you will remember it. Oh, I can see it. I see it on my little phone. Ahava. This sculpture, I didn't know, was made by the artist Robert Indiana. And he is actually, before he did that, he stacked up the iconic LO over the VE in red and blue and green. He made this love painting, which appeared on the Museum of Modern Art's annual Christmas card in 1965. He chose the colors based on where his dad worked, Phillips 66. He loved the red and green, he said, against the blue Hoosier sky. In 1970, the first stacked love sculpture was built in Indiana, and there are now 50 different communities, at least around the world, who have such love sculptures. In 1970, he created the Hebrew Love Ahava Core 10 steel sculpture for the Israel Museum Art Garden in Jerusalem. Now, what's so interesting to me, because I thought, oh, this is all about love story, and oh, romance and love means never having to say your story and all of that stuff. But Indiana did not create these love signs about romantic love at all. He, in fact, at the moment was heartbroken because he had had a falling out with his beloved at the time, Ellsworth Kelly, another artist that he worked with. He, for the first time, was asked to make a sign for an old defunct Christian Science church, which was being renovated into an art museum. And Indiana wrote that he had grown up in Christian Science, and everywhere in Christian Science was an inscription, God is love. And thus to him, this iconic love inscription served both the love of art and the love of God and the love of world, and it had nothing to do with the free love of the era. In 1977, when he created this love sign, he used the 4 letters that we make as the root, the Aleph of I, the Hey, and the Vav of give, with an Hey at the end for feminine form. But it also exemplifies the importance of the spiritual aspect of love to Indiana. The brown of the earth mixed with the ethereal blue of the sky, creating love of both earth and above, the below and the above. And of course, those of us who read in other directions realize that by stacking them but looking at them instead of in the Hebrew direction up and down is the word Av for father, or the parent God, and the 2 Heys together are an abbreviation of the name of God. And so it is that indeed love Shabbat is all the more meaningful because the love is about what we give to God, what we give to our community, what we give to our nation Israel, what we give to the person sitting next to us and behind us, and indeed what we give to ourselves with our beautiful heritage. That indeed is the vision of the Aleinu prayer on page 586. It says, we go out of here, we've now all refreshed, we love the music, we can't wait to eat, but we know we have to go out and fix the world that we love. And that's what the Aleinu reminds us. So we rise together, facing the open ark with the words of our Torah.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, l'ateit gedulah yoseh b'reshit, shelo asanu kiboyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot Adamah, shelo sam chalkeinu bahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachvim u'modim, lifnei melech malkei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nemar v'chaya Adonai, v'melech al kol ha'aretz, v'yom hahu, yiyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo
And we remain standing as we consider the many people whom we have loved and whom we have lost, but whose love remains alive within us. On page 596, when cherished ties are broken and the chains of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear, but if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction, he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts and are an abiding blessing. On this Shabbat, we mark the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Loretta Cox, Judy Kell, Carl Elling Lindquist Jr., Fanny Sigmund, Beverly Marks Goldberg, Sylvia Miller, Carolyn Guys, Eleanor Krongold, Robert Arthur Berkey, Frida Garfunkel, Stanley Karp, Robert Reich, Rana Troy, Alma Hockman, and John A. Rieger. We mark as well with sadness the recent passing of Eric Segalowitz, Steve Markman, Lorraine Fortner, and John Robbins. Are there any other names that we add to our yahrzeit list on this Shabbat? Then we include all of these names, and in our hearts remember everyone whom we have loved and lost. And continue with the Kaddish prayer, page 598. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'hayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam ulolmei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit po'ar v'yit roman v'yit naseh v'yit hadar v'yit haleh v'yit halal shemei d'kudishat v'richu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates shalom on high bring peace to us, to all of Israel, and to all of the world, as we say, amen. Please be seated. Who's my Bima person? Mark? The old days, we used to call this the Bima boy, but that was too binary of us. In this case, here's our Bima boy.
Shabbat Shalom. In addition to a beautiful service that you got to enjoy, there is Bill's Donuts outside for after services. I know that's exciting. There's a lot of activities coming up the next several weeks. And if I miss any, please just remind me. We have Apocrypha study tomorrow from 10 to 12. That's here live and on Zoom. Rabbi Judy kind of alluded to the media installation. That's going to start on Monday. So we'll get that started and hopefully get done by the end of the week. That's very exciting. Next week, the Shabbat is for Tu B'Shvat is a vegetarian potluck. So services start at 5:30, a little bit earlier so we can have food and a service and not get out of temple too late. And then on the 27th, Mary and Renee have a morning Shabbat service. Very exciting. You should definitely attend that.
That one is Zoom only. We always say Pajama Shabbat. So you can do it from home and join us.
There you go, Pajama Shabbat. So you can do it from home, Zoom only. And I only repeated what you said because Zoom can't hear everything. So let's see. February 2nd, Rock of Ages Shabbat. So that's coming up. Another Apocrypha study on Saturday the 3rd. Parents, the parent group is doing financial literacy for kids. That's a parent class to how to teach your kids about finances. That's on February 4th. So that's coming up. There's so many other things coming up. One thing I wanted to mention is Stop the Bleed. That's a CPR and first aid class that everybody needs because you never know when you might need that skill. Even if you've been certified before, it's always good to get a refresher. There's no cost. It's here at Temple, and that's a great class. And then the Art and Music Cafe is on March 2nd.
Yes.
You want to talk about that at all?
Yes. This is our fifth year Art and Music Cafe. Do you want me to do that here? Because they can't hear me on Zoom.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hear me. Not. The Art and Music Cafe, this is our fifth year doing it, featuring different artists from our community, meaning glassware, wood carvings, photography, painters. It's very cool. And then we set up an open stage, so it's kind of like a coffee shop setting. The open stage will be, is Mark here too? Yes. Is Mark, I don't see him.
No.
Is Mark Gilbert here? Okay,
No.
The other Mark. Will be hosted by the house band, which is my father, Steve White, myself, and Mark Gilbert. We are the Stephen, Mark, and Mary Show. You like that? You like that? Okay. It's a lot of fun, so if you have any kind of talent that normally you wouldn't come out of your basement with, come please share it with us. Hand drums, acoustic instruments, and no karaoke. That's against my religion. Sorry.
All right, so that should be a lot of fun. That's on March 2nd, and I went to the last several, and it was definitely a nice evening. Let's see, what else? There's so many things. There's a Shabbat with a fake Purim potluck. That'll be interesting for you to hear about. So fake Purim, that's the important thing. And I think that's it. There's corned beef, March 12th, is that right? So that's coming up, and you'll get some information in the light, and you'll see some emails about that as well. Thank you for that reminder.
Scott, how many years in a row have we been doing the corned beef now?
Probably 5 or 6 years.
I think it's more than that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Brisket's about 12 to 14 years.
Awesome. Very good.
So lots of great activities. Come join in whatever you can, bring friends and family, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks again. Shabbat Shalom.
So we want to thank the Federation who is sponsoring our event. And when I thought of love, I thought of donuts. It's like, this is my world. And so the Lockman family was so wonderful to offer a beautiful set of Bill's Donuts for us to enjoy. But we have to do Kiddush and Hamotzi first. So I wonder if there's anyone under 19, 18. If they'd come up and help me with Kiddush and Motzi.
You gotta ask for that again.
Let's be old school. Here's old school. This is pre-COVID. So Addie, will you hold this? Like everybody, this is how we did it in the old days. Everybody put your hand on the collar. No one else.
They're clean hands.
Grab a chunk, we're gonna sing the blessing and you're gonna pull, okay? Oh, can they see? Soon can you see? We hope you can see this. Is adorable. Hamotzi lechem in haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. All right. All right, so our closing song is one that Mary wrote, and she's going to talk to us about it.
Short and sweet, a song introduces itself, and I think it explains itself. About 12 years ago, reading the newspaper, listening to the news, I just got tired of seeing what I was seeing in the world, so I penned these lyrics. And every once in a while, there's an event like today that makes me think it's a perfect time to reintroduce it. The chorus, the choir's going to sing with me, and I'm hoping as you hear it that you'll also join in on the chorus. You'll know it when we get there. I've got something to say now. I got just a few things on my mind. So if you are willing and able, have a seat now and spend a little time. You see, I just can't read that newspaper in the morning. That hating and fighting and killing, it messes with my whole long day. You can say I just want to keep my head in the sand, but what I really want
It's for everyone to understand. You've got to walk the path of love. Don't talk it, come on, walk the path of love. You gotta mean it when you say it when you mean it, like you're singing to the heavens above. It's what you're doing when no one else is around. It's what you're thinking when someone is putting you down. So if you talk it, come on and walk it, this path of love. Now when a brother is feeling down on life, he might try to take it out on you. And when a sister's had a fill of pain and strife, she might walk around with the blues. And if somebody asks me, hearted at you, you can turn it all around. Share a smile, share a prayer, a little touch of kindness will always come on home to you. You've got to walk the path of love. Don't talk it, come on, walk the path of love. You gotta mean it when you say it when you mean it, like you're singing to the heavens above. It's what you're doing when no one else is around. It's what you're thinking when someone is putting you down. So if you talk it, come on and walk it, this path of love. So when you're going in the temple Friday, church on Sunday, and bending your knees to pray, and you're talking about loving your brother and sister, and scripture is the only way. Just remember when you walk away from your friends, that God starts testing on you. And every day you have a choice of how you greet that morning, and let that love come through. You've got to walk the path of love. Don't just talk it, come on, walk the path of love. You gotta mean it when you say it when you mean it, like you're singing to the heavens above. It's what you're doing when no one else is around. It's what you're thinking when someone is putting you down. So if you talk it, come on and walk it, this path of love. Are you ready? You've got to walk the path of love. Don't just talk it, come on, walk the path of love. You gotta mean it when you say it when you mean it, like you're singing to the heavens above. It's what you're doing when no one else is around. Oh, it's what you're thinking when someone is pulling you down. So if you talk it, come on and walk it, this path of love.
Shabbat Shalom.
Don't go anywhere. Don't anywhere, Papa. Stay right there. Papa, can you hear me? We get a lot of mileage out of that.
Oh, it's something that we
All
can.
right, let me see you.
Everybody look fuzzy.
No, fuzzy. Bill, I think you fixed it for me.
Yeah, fuzzy, wuzzy, wuzzy. Yeah, fuzzy, yeah.
And everybody wish Bill a happy birthday. His birthday's today.
Yeah, well, it's only here.
Yours is, right?
His birthday's tomorrow.
We'll make sure they say something. Oh. We'll do a little Yom Haledet over the donuts. Over the donuts.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Take the book.
Stuck on your touching screen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Okay, that too. That's the other one.